Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We're really happy you're here with us today.
Hello, friends. It feels amazing to be here again, talking, learning, and sharing English together.
For anyone who's new here, I'm Emma,
And I'm Jack.
and you're listening to the Everyday English Practice Podcast, the place where we learn real, natural English together.
On this podcast, we focus on everyday English, the kind people actually use in their conversations, in offices, at cafes, at home, and even with friends.
Yes, not textbook English, not formal or stiff English, but real, natural English you can actually feel and use.
And before we dive in, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us reach more English learners around the world.
It also tells us that you enjoy learning with us and want more real English tips.
Okay, today's episode is going to be very interesting.
Very interesting and super useful, because today we're talking about one small word that many English learners find confusing.
A very small word, but one that can mean a lot of different things.
Yes, today's topic is how to use the word get in English.
Emma, before we jump into this, can I ask you something?
Of course, what's up?
Do you ever feel like you get tired of explaining the same thing again and again?
Oh yes, I get that feeling very often.
See, you already use get.
Wait, I did?
Yes, and you didn't even notice. That's the funny thing about the word get. It pops up everywhere in English, and many learners feel a bit overwhelmed by it.
Yesterday, I was talking to one of my students, and he said something very honest. He said, Jack, I don't get. And honestly, that's a very real feeling. Many learners feel exactly the same way.
I remember when I was learning another language, there was always one word like this, a word that seems to do too much work.
Yes, you see it everywhere, but you're never completely sure what it actually means in every situation.
And that's why today we are going to slow down. We're going to talk calmly. We'll use simple examples and we'll learn the word get step by step, just like friends having a conversation.
Okay, Emma, let's start with the most basic meaning. When learners first see the word get, what do they usually learn?
Usually they learn that get means receive, right? For example,
I get a message.
I get an email.
I get a gift.
Exactly, that's the basic meaning. And that meaning is completely correct. But English can be tricky. It loves to give one word many jobs.
Let's stay here for a moment. Get equals receive.
Okay, can you give some examples?
Sure. I got a call from my sister.
That means you received a call.
I got an email from my boss.
Again, you received it.
I got a present for my birthday.
Nice, what did you get?
A book, a very boring book about productivity.
Maybe useful, someday.
See, dear listeners, get is a very friendly verb. Native speakers use get much more often than receive.
Yes, the word receive sounds formal. You might see it in emails or official letters, but in daily conversation, people almost always say get.
For example, I got your message. I got your email. I got the package.
It sounds natural, relaxed, and friendly.
But here's where learners start to feel confused.
Yes, because get doesn't always mean receive. Now, get can mean become. For example, I get tired after work.
That means you become tired.
Exactly. I get angry when I'm hungry.
Very honest. I get nervous before speaking in public.
That's very common. So here, get is about change.
Yes, a change in feeling, a change in condition, or a change in situation. You were calm, then you got nervous. You were relaxed, then you got worried.
This is very important for learners because English often uses get to describe life changes.
Emma, let's talk about feelings.
I love that because learners want to express emotions.
Yes, and emotions are a big part of real English. So we say things like, I get sad sometimes.
I get happy when I listen to music.
I get excited about new plans.
I get confused easily.
I get stressed at work.
I get bored on Sundays.
All of these sentences are very natural and very useful.
Emma, when do you usually get tired?
I get tired when I don't sleep well.
Same here. I also get tired after long meetings. Do you ever get tired of social media?
Oh yes, I get tired of scrolling and scrolling.
See, listeners, that's another useful pattern. When we say, I get tired of something or I get bored of something, it means we experience that feeling repeatedly.
For example, I get tired of loud noise.
I get bored of waiting.
I get frustrated with slow internet.
And that one is very modern English.
Yes, very real-life English. Here's a small tip for learners. Listen carefully to these sentences. I get a present for my birthday.
I get angry when I'm hungry.
I get tired after work.
I get nervous before speaking.
Beautiful sentences. Remember, fluency doesn't come from memorizing thousands of rules. Fluency comes from hearing patterns again and again, noticing them, and practicing them naturally. So keep listening, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep speaking.
In the next part of our conversation, we're going to explore even more ways native speakers use get in daily life. You might be surprised how many situations this tiny word shows up in. And we'll also talk about phrasal verbs, daily routines, shopping, feelings, and casual conversation, all using get.
All right, now that we've covered get as receive, become, and feel, let's explore more ways native speakers use get in real daily situations. Jack, let's start with something simple.
Sure, Emma. Ask me anything.
What time did you get here today?
Perfect example. I got here at 9:30 a.m. So here, get equals arrive.
Exactly. Not receive, not become, but arrive. And this is very common in spoken English.
People often say, what time did you get home? Did you get to work on time? When did you get there? Native speakers almost never say arrive in daily conversation. It sounds formal.
I usually get home around 7 p.m.
That's late.
Yes, and I get tired when I get home late. See? So many gets in one sentence, but it sounds completely natural.
Learners often worry about using get too many times in one sentence.
Yes, but for native speakers, it feels natural.
Emma, do you feel like time is moving faster these days?
Absolutely. And I feel like life is getting busier.
There it is again, getting busier.
Yes, get is showing change over time. We can say things like, it's getting cold, the weather is getting better, my English is getting stronger.
That last one is very important for learners.
Yes, your English doesn't become perfect overnight. It slowly gets better, little by little.
Jack, do you remember when you first started teaching English?
Oh yes, very clearly. I was nervous.
Very nervous.
But over time, I got more confident.
Exactly. Confidence doesn't come suddenly. It grows, just like learning a language.
Let's talk about shopping, Emma.
I'm not very good at shopping.
That's okay. In English, you can say, I need to get groceries. I'll get some coffee. I got a new phone.
So here, get equals buy or obtain.
Yes, but it sounds more natural than buy.
For example, I'm going to buy some milk is correct, but most people say, I'm going to get some milk.
Very casual, very real-life English.
Emma, after this podcast, I think I'll get some coffee.
I thought you already had coffee.
That was 2 hours ago. You need to get more coffee.
Here's another interesting one.
Yes, go ahead.
When we say, can you get Emma, it doesn't mean buy me.
Please don't buy me.
It means call, bring, or contact. For example,
Can you get the doctor? I'll get my friend. Please get your brother.
So in this case, get means go and bring or contact. Yesterday, my phone was in another room.
Oh no.
I said, "Can you get my phone for me?"
Perfect usage. Simple and natural.
Now we're entering a slightly tricky area. Phrasal verbs with get.
Don't panic. We'll take it slowly.
Okay.
For example, get in the car. Get out of the car.
Here, in and out describe movement. Get in means enter. Get out means leave.
For buses, trains, and planes, we say get on the bus. Get off the train.
Learners mix these up a lot.
Yes, even native speakers make mistakes sometimes.
I once told a student, "Get out the bus."
Oh no.
Yes, it sounded strange. It should be get off the bus.
But the important thing, communication matters more than perfection.
Exactly.
Another very common use is when someone explains something and you understand. For example, I get it, not I understand.
I understand is correct, but I get it sounds more natural and conversational.
And if you don't understand, you say, I don't get it. I didn't get that. Can you explain again? I don't get it. Very useful phrases for learners.
Emma, sometimes learners feel shy saying, "I don't get it."
Yes, but they shouldn't. Not understanding is part of learning.
Exactly. Every time you say, "I don't get it," you're actually getting closer to understanding.
That's a beautiful way to say it. If you're listening right now and thinking, this is a lot, don't worry.
Take a breath. You're doing great.
You don't need to use all these forms today. Just notice them. Listen for get in movies, podcasts, and daily conversations.
Emra, I feel like this episode is really helping learners.
Me too. Get doesn't feel so scary anymore. It feels friendly.
Okay, Emma, let's be honest for a moment.
Sure.
Get is used a lot, and learners make mistakes.
Of course they do.
Because it has so many meanings, it can feel confusing.
But here's the truth. Native speakers don't care if you use get perfectly.
Yes, they care if you understand you.
Many learners stop speaking because they think too much.
Is this get correct? Should I say take? Should I say receive? Then silence.
But real English doesn't work like that.
Real English is fast, emotional, imperfect, sometimes messy.
And that's okay.
A learner once said, "I get very confusing."
Ah, yes. Grammatically, it should be I get confused.
But did you understand him?
Immediately.
That's the point. Don't stop speaking just because of small mistakes.
Let's talk honestly. Native speakers use get because it's easy. They don't analyze grammar, they feel the sentence.
For example, when something bad happens, they say, "I get it."
I get so tired of this.
"I just can't get motivated today."
Notice something. They're talking about feelings.
That's why get is powerful.
We often use get with emotions. Get angry, get excited, get nervous, get happy, get sad.
These are not textbook sentences. These are life sentences.
Yesterday, I was waiting for an important call.
And it didn't come.
I started to get anxious.
Perfect example. Not I became anxious. I got anxious. Natural, human, conversational.
Emma, sometimes learners ask, how can I practice more?
I always say, you don't need more rules, you need more exposure.
Here's something very simple.
Every day, try to say 3 sentences with get. Just 3. For example, I get tired in the evening. I get coffee every morning. I didn't get enough sleep.
That's it. No writing, no pressure. Just speaking. Emma, can I share a secret?
Please do.
I talk to myself sometimes.
We all do.
But I talk to myself in English sometimes.
That's a great habit.
When I wake up, I say I need to get up.
Nice.
When I'm tired, I say I'm getting sleepy.
Very natural.
When something clicks in my mind, I say, oh, I get it now.
Exactly how native speakers think.
Let's imagine some daily moments.
I need to get the laundry done.
I can't get comfortable.
I get bored when I stay inside all day.
I didn't get the email.
Let me get back to you.
I'm trying to get this finished.
I get what you mean.
I get excited when we travel.
I don't get why he's upset.
Emma, can I say something directly to our listeners?
Please do.
Your English is not bad.
Yes, you're just growing like a plant, sometimes slowly, sometimes fast, but always moving forward.
If you're afraid to speak, if you're scared of making mistakes, remember this.
Children make mistakes every day, and they still speak.
Fluency comes from courage, not perfection.
Here's one gentle tip. In very formal writing, exams, official emails, you might use other words, but in speaking, get is your best friend.
Let's practice softly. Repeat in your mind.
I'm getting better at English.
I'm getting nervous, but I still speak.
I don't get everything, and that's okay.
Beautiful sentences.
Emma, how do you feel now?
Honestly, yes, I feel calm.
Me too, because language should feel safe, not stressful.
If this episode helped you, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who feels scared to speak.
Learning together is easier.
Thank you for learning with us.
Keep speaking, keep making mistakes, and remember, you're not bad at English, you're just getting better.